On this episode, we talk with Aaron DeMott about his recent trip with his papa.
You're listening to the Dudes and Dads Podcast, a show dedicated to helping men be better dudes and dads by building community through meaningful conversation and storytelling. And now, here are your hosts, Joel DeMott and Andy Lehman.
Papa Joel.
Oh, Papa.
I threw you off there.
Papa.
You were not expecting me to say Papa Joel.
Who says Papa? Oh, friends.
Kids to their grandparents.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm not that old yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
you could
goodness.
be, though. You could be.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dudes and Dads Podcast. Glad to have each and every one of you here. That's a fun little episode. We like to incorporate the kiddos every once in a while.
And we're bringing Aaron, your eldest, back again.
Back again to follow up, talk a little bit.
He was on a show recently. I don't have the episode in front of me, but I'll link it in the show notes.
Ooh.
About this coming-of-age trip that you were taking with him. And when we recorded, we said, we will have to have you back as a follow-up. And Aaron kept saying, hey, when am I going to get to do that follow-up?
Yeah, he was very persistent.
And so we decided to bring him back. He is in studio with us tonight. But first, Joel, how have you been? It's
Andy, here's the deal.
You were gone. You were gone the last time. We did it without you. Did you listen to the episode?
Yes. I'm so Mark, Mr. Mark Benton. I need you to hear this from me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for stepping in and possibly being a better host than I am. I'm just not afraid to admit it. I'm a man of just knows when I've been bested, and so well done. June, Andy, June flew by. Jackie was traveling for work. I had to travel for work. In between that, we were in Omaha, Nebraska, of all places.
Together, though.
Without that place, we were together. We were grateful for that. But sometimes we were together, and I love being together. But we were together in a hotel room for a long, long time as a family because we were staying out there for a baseball
with
trip.
four kids. You had all four? No, two.
Who do we have? We had Aaron and Josiah, and then one of Aaron's teammates was along with us. Our friend.
So you had
friend
a
Jabari.
surrogate kid.
Yes, I had a short-term adopted child.
Sweet.
And so that was a whole experience. It was great, but man, it was a whole experience. Lots of baseball and the dusty heat of Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, Andy, while I was out there, though, I don't know if I've talked to you about this. I'm going to forget it. I'm going to forget which company. So our good friend of the show, alumni of the show, Brent Miller.
Oh yeah, Brent,
our buddy from Everence. His dad Kenny is a meat purchaser. It's like a purchasing agent for meat for a local company in our area here. And he's got all these vendors. And turns out, and I always forget this, Omaha, like Omaha steaks,
Right.
A lot of beef out there. So we got a tour of a beef processing plant.
Sweet. That's got to be fun.
It was fun. I never thought I would get to do something like this. We got nixed on the being able to be in the slaughterhouse. We didn't get to see that part. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Kind of depends on. We were not A-okayed for that. But literally, as soon as that whole animal, the whole the big beef rack, as it were,
sure, comes
in the door. Saw the whole process. Knives a flailing, saws a cutting. Just my gosh, it was a thing. So got to do that while I was out there for the baseball tournament, because when you think baseball, you also think meat processing. Absolutely. Yeah. No, so that was
good deal.
That was super fun. So we did that. But really the month of June has flown by. Lots of travel, lots of things. And now we're here into July. And for you, Andy, as it is every year, July, more toward the end of July, it means a few things.
Gets busy for fair.
Yeah. How are you feeling about fair this year?
I'm ready for it to be done.
Already?
Yeah.
That's a great start.
It is, isn't it?
Andy and I have talked, and this year we've bypassed 4-H altogether. We took a hard look at what we were capable of doing, and we said we've got to restructure.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes you do, and it was not a popular decision. Aaron still might be salty with me about it.
We'll find out here in a minute.
We'll find out how he really feels.
Aaron, welcome to the show. It's
Hi.
Good to have you back. You were here with us just a few short episodes ago before you went on the trip with your dad. So we wanted to get you back and to kind of hear a little bit more about how that trip went. So let's talk the trip. Where did you start? What did you guys do?
So we started and we left in the
early morning. So this is the beginning. We went in the beginning. We were gone for the first 5 or 6 days of March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the day that we were flying out, my dad decided to have Culver's cheese curds.
Oh, geez, I forgot all about this. Oh, he's going to tell the story.
And we were driving down. He said, "Oh, I don't feel so good, right?" So you're almost by Grissom's Air Base.
So we're about
an
hour away,
a little hour and a half south.
And he felt like there's something, and it's in his chest, and
you were having. Oh,
did I tell? Okay,
you did not tell me this story.
I did not tell you this story, and I just realized I did not tell you this story. So it just felt like I had
a baby alien,
a piece of, I don't know, just something I hadn't swallowed
it went down the wrong tube.
Wrong tube. It hadn't swallowed it right, but it was just making me feel weird. It was just making me feel weird. Not like I was choking or anything like that. Just kind of upset stomach. So
sure.
I told Aaron, I'm something's not settling too right.
So we pulled over at a BP gas station, right?
Yeah.
And we walk in the door, and he's like, "Aaron, I'll be right back." So I walk in the door thinking he forgot something in the car maybe, but no. He turns around, and there's a green trash can right next to him.
And it was greener after you were done?
I don't know.
Now, do you know what an absolute, really lost person you look like when you're standing outside of the main entrance of a truck station, and you are just hurling your guts out into a trash can?
I bet the gas station is glad that you didn't go in before doing that.
No. Well, because I had stepped one foot in, and I had the wherewithal.
You knew it was coming.
And I'm like, the feeling was so weird. It wasn't like being nauseous at first. It didn't feel like I was going to be nauseous.
Sure.
I took one step and I'm like, oh no, that's exactly what it is. So I got the fact that I was able to even give Aaron some level of instruction, to keep it together in time to. Oh boy! So that was our. So there was a fear.
That was part one. There's part two.
Of the same cheese curd story.
Once we got to the airport.
So we're flying out of Indianapolis. Yep.
Still wasn't feeling good. So right, it's a big parking lot, right? So they have a shuttle bus. So we go to the shuttle bus station, and he's just laying there with his eyes closed, and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel good," right? So I call mom and tell him Dad's not feeling well. Just and then I walk away, and he goes behind the bus station, and just boom everywhere.
Puking in bushes.
Oh man!
But here's the deal. It was perfect. It was perfect timing because I got it all out, and then the bus pulls up. Because would it have been terrible? Here I am, just puking my guts out as the bus pulls up. And
right.
people
are
on
the bus.
Or on the bus. Yeah. So, but at this point, and I don't know if Aaron was feeling this way, I'm like, okay, if I'm just going to keep getting sicker while we're traveling,
right? That's terrible.
It's going to be terrible. And so, I am praying. I'm like, God, please let this just be a 24-hour thing or whatever it is. So, Aaron, were you feeling concerned by that time?
No.
No, you thought it was gonna. You were
fine.
You were gonna be fine. Okay, yeah.
You were gonna sleep on the plane, and it was gonna be fine.
Which is exactly what happened. We landed.
I got him some Tums.
Yeah.
Good man, store. Aaron.
Yeah,
good man.
And we got that. So that's right. Yeah. I forgot that is exactly how the trip started, and that is to say, there's a certain level of I don't know. Responsibility that I feel it's man, we've planned this trip. We're doing this. Gosh, it would be terrible if something tripped us up this early in the process. So I was a little bit frightened of please let this just be something that's going to pass quickly.
Well, and you don't want to have Aaron mother you as your.
Well, the poor it's the poor kid is watching me kind of take a initial downward spiral. But we got on the on the plane. We got there. So,
all right, so what's next, Aaron?
Yeah. So what do we do next?
So we landed in Phoenix. And then it took a while to get our bags. Like
we had to wait. We
had to wait a while.
We did have to wait a while. Yep.
But like once we got our bags, we got on their new tram that they just put in like a couple weeks or months.
Yeah, it's
new.
Newer. Mm-hmm.
And that took us to the car rental, which had construction going on, so it was like
always.
And then we had to wait in the long line to get our rental car. And then once we got down to the car, Dad's like, "Where did I put my phone?"
Oh.
And then
and then
I'm like, "Dad,
so much fun.
I got my Find My app." And then
this kid was on it. I will say,
it's up at the budget register. So we walk back right there.
Boom, boom. She handed it right to me. I will say, Aaron was a savvy traveler. He was looking out for me because clearly
you didn't know you needed him, but you did.
I did. Boy, did I! And it was cool. I will say, it was cool to see, like in those things, like Aaron kept a very level head. Like, I think it would have been easy for him to be like, but nope, he knew what to do. So it was good. It's good having him around that way. So yeah, we got our car, and then what did we?
We went and so it wasn't that late, but
that's right. It
wasn't that late. It was like
we left
7.
so early. And you were like,
I'm starving.
Dad, In-N-Out Burger.
No.
Is that not what we got first?
No. We went to We went to your friend's house that you're staying with.
But didn't we go?
No,
that
was after.
We went to our friends Brad and Sarah where we were staying. That's
where
we went first. Yep, over in Scottsdale.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We went there, dropped all of our stuff off, and then we went to Shake Shack.
Oh, yes. So here, hot take, Andy. I don't know. Have you done In-N-Out Burger?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done Shake Shack?
No.
Okay. So I introduced Aaron to Shake Shack, and his bold take is,
I like Shake Shack better than In-N-Out, I think.
Yeah.
In-N-Out's just like really messy.
Oh.
But good though.
Like I'd take In-N-Out if I was in In-N-Out. But like if it's like, you're getting it and then you're going back to the car.
It's like going to be a bomb that goes off, a hamburger bomb goes off here.
Yeah, because like In-N-Out has so much.
That makes sense.
I love that my eldest child is largely judging the burger by its structural integrity. It's the taste is kind of secondary.
Right.
Like
it's all about
how
it's structured.
So yeah, we did the Shake Shack, and then we got some sleep, and then we had the purpose of us going there, just as a reminder, was we were going to be able to see a couple of two spring training games, and we were going to get to tour the spring training facility for the Cleveland Guardians, which is Aaron's
favorite baseball team.
I am as a non-Cleveland Guardians fan, I'm also dying a little bit inside, but at the same time, it's like,
sure.
What, this is a cool thing to do, and I'm pretty sure Aaron was having a good time throughout. Yes, pretty fantastic.
It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. So let's see. We did the tour of the facility, caught a baseball game.
I got a baseball full of signatures.
Sweet.
Like full.
Yeah.
Of signatures.
So this is something that'll go like in your memory of the trip. It helps build and solidify the time that you had with your dad because you get the memorabilia of it.
Yeah. You'll see that. Yeah, we came prepared with a couple of autograph balls, and Aaron did. He got a lot of signatures.
Mark Springer.
And Mark Springer signed your ball?
Yeah. Good old art.
Well, he's Mark Springer.
He's Mark Springer.
Right. So those of you who don't know, Mark is somebody who goes to church with me and goes to a lot of baseball games.
He's a coach within the organization that Aaron plays for, and as it turns out, he and his son were down. Like we overlapped a few days. We were down there at the same time, so we caught a game with them. That was good. But yeah, the baseball games were good, and that all went according to plan. But one of our days also.
Oh yeah, this was. So we were like, let's go up to more northern Arizona where it starts getting like higher in elevation and it's not all.
So we're
heading
towards Sedona, where I had been a few times before. I had done there's a trail there that isn't. It's not too aggressive, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's the
Just goes through river
canyons and it like really.
But what we didn't account for was that it was still like it was early March. So it was like still snowing.
So normally the snow is normally out of there by then. The trails are normally hikeable. Specifically, this one that isn't that far north, and it's not a big change in elevation. And they had record, of course, the week we're going.
Record-breaking snow.
Record-breaking snow.
That had not melted.
Yeah. So you
There's
literally
5 feet of snow on the ground.
You couldn't even get into the trailheads. Now, we'd planned this trip. The hiking for me was going to be one of the mile markers, one of the things that we did together, one of these experiences.
It was, so we couldn't go to the original trail. We were like, okay, there looks like there's like a public park that has a trail that goes, so maybe that won't be as bad. It was still bad. Like we got up there like this, it was like in the middle of this neighborhood where the trailhead was, and like these are all A-frame houses because like when it snows, so the snow just falls off the side, doesn't collapse the roofs.
Yep.
And they're like digging their cars out because it snowed over their cars.
Man.
Yeah, we're like trying to get back into this trailhead, and there's people that are bringing that are people that have rented. So there's all these flatbed trailers that are coming in, bringing in like these smaller excavators that can like pull cars out, dig them out, all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not a good sign.
So we end up parking on the side of the road, and we're like, this is fine. You can still get around. And I end up so like when I open the door, it won't open all the way because of the snow pile.
Oh man.
So I have to like climb out the door, shimmy my way.
Things are not going as planned.
To the next door, open it to get my hiking boots.
Yeah.
And then we finally like start walking. We realize it's packed down.
It looks hikeable.
Sure.
Then because of like there's a trail of people that have already walked there. But like that's like the only place you can step before you
step
fall.
off of it. You would literally. I'd go.
Man,
he fell up to his waist.
Yeah, and I'm
he stepped in and went up to his waist.
And I'm like, Aaron, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure we are not going to be able to hike this. I'll be because I was gassed pretty soon because you're pulling yourself out, right?
Right. More memories to be made.
More memories. It was fun. We had some.
It would be fun to live up there. Just online school half the year.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So what we did is we got back in the car, and after we crawled ourselves out of the.
And then my
spot.
Shoes and socks were just soaked because full snow.
Sure. Yeah.
That was one part we weren't quite planned for.
We had to go up into Flagstaff.
Into Flagstaff. We drove up north there. Yep.
Into a Kohl's. Got some new shoes and socks. And then we went back down to Sedona to get food for dinner. And
this is Aaron's bold claim. And we should find the restaurant we stayed at because I'd gone there before, and I knew it was like it was a pretty legit place. So this being our trip, Andy, it's like we're trying to make some significant things that we normally would not do. And one of those things is, yes, we had been to Shake Shack. Yes, we had done the In-N-Out Burger, but I was like, I want Aaron to have like kind of an upper level A class meal. So we went to this restaurant, and Aaron boldly ordered himself the most expensive steak. Was it the most expensive that they had there?
No.
Okay.
But pretty close.
It was up there. He orders himself the steak, and I told him, I was like, I hope you enjoy every single bite of that. There better not be any left whatsoever. And that kid went on to completely devour it. Are you finding where we went? Are you seeing it? Not yet. That's okay. But really cool place, beautiful view of the mountains, and Aaron ate he had a grown man's meal that day. Would you say that's correct, Aaron?
Yes.
Would you say that you'll remember that steak for the rest of your life?
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
it was good.
It was good. Will I remember it for the rest of my life? Maybe not.
Would you say it was the best steak that you had to this point in your life, in your 13 years?
Maybe.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Getting to be quite a snake snob.
Snake. I love snakes.
Snakes so good.
Steak snob. Yep. Okay, so we had some good meals while we were up there, good experiences. This is the one thing though, like we had to adapt, right?
Oh yeah.
Inevitably, there were things that were beyond our control, that were not going well. That weather thing that I had not, because we had talked with our friends who live there prior when I was planning, and they're like, oh yeah, those trails will be good, and like, you know, when planning months out,
they hike pretty often.
Okay. Yeah, they're hikers, and so like we thought we had a good insight into like what was the norm would be and where we would be at, and it just didn't go the way we wanted to. And so Aaron was really great about that. He was good and flexible about it.
I found the restaurant, by the way.
Oh, you did? Where did we go?
It's called the Hudson.
The Hudson. That's right. It sounds fancy? It's not like it would. Yeah, it's a good restaurant. It was a good time.
It's got 4.6 stars.
4.6. Nice. Which I guess is a lesson. I mean, Aaron, did you feel like we were able to adjust to the circumstances okay?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta watch Top Gun. I finished watching Top Gun.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, let me do that.
Great. It was another opportunity for you to watch Top Gun. Great. Anything else that you remember from that experience up there in Sedona? We did get to climb up. We did go up on a trail. We got to see the sunset, which is, I mean, on the Red Rocks is absolutely. I threw a snowball
at Dad.
In
Arizona.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice. And gorgeous sunset, really, really nice. But yeah, I would say that the experience was good overall. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Then we got to watch another baseball game the next day too.
Yeah.
Which was great. So Aaron, I would wonder, as you've kind of reflected on this trip, were there things that you would have changed about the trip? Things that you would have done that you, if knowing what we know or whatever, that you would have maybe taken.
Tell Dad approach. Not to eat a cheese curd before he goes to.
Let's start there. That's a great idea.
More days out there.
More days. Okay.
I feel like everything just.
So you guys were out there how long?
So really 5 days.
Okay. And that includes your travel, like total from leaving house.
5 days including travel.
So leaving house to back a house is 5 days.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So you would have gone with more travel days.
More.
Yeah. When there is longer travel, that does. I mean, the thing is I'm not like a great. I don't know.
He's not a good traveler.
I'm not a great traveler. Like I feel pretty tired after after being on a flight, and we were up early that first morning to get a flight out of Indy, and so yeah, I can see more time. You felt that we were.
Well, maybe not even like travel was probably fine, but like if you're like in Arizona longer.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You wanted more time on the vacation itself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the most, like, the highlight thing? If I would say, Aaron, what was your favorite thing about the trip? What was your favorite thing?
Spending time with my dad.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer.
Well, and that's really, I mean, what you were going for, right? I mean, it's the making the memories that counts. It doesn't really matter that you were, I mean, it does matter that you were in Arizona and you caught a couple games, like, but the real goal of it was to spend time with
just me and my dad. Yeah.
Right.
Which, with us, Andy, with as many kids as we have, it's like those, and we've talked about this before, those one-on-one times. I mean, it feels like you really have to fight for them.
You do.
You have to figure out how that's gonna be, especially because you have to have the space to meet each kid with where they're at. I felt really fortunate with this trip in as much as I felt like we were doing things that really meant a lot to Aaron. Which
I mean, it's kind of the goal. I mean, like you want to do something that with the kids that it's going to be important to them. It's not going to be like, let's go on a work trip with Dad.
Oh, boy.
I mean, sure, you can make those times work, right? I mean, but that's not.
I think
what
I'm
this
doing
is
that
for.
tomorrow.
Not
like a work trip, but like.
Aaron's going to go to a golf outing with me tomorrow. So
don't let him eat the cheese curds.
I'll make sure.
You don't want to be barfing on the green, Joel. You don't.
Oh, gross.
That's gross.
That's gross.
That's
You don't wanna do
backswing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the sound effects.
Yeah. Wow. That's great.
Exactly.
If you were Aaron, gonna like sell, like, let's say you got a friend that you're like trying to convince them, like, hey, they and their dad, or should do something like this too. Like they should do a special trip. Like how would you sell it to them? What would you want to tell them? That, like, advice you'd give them, things like that.
I don't know. Well, depending on who it would be, I'd probably tell them different.
Yeah, sure. So I think
It's like I'd probably say Jabari should go on a trip with his dad because he's got 4 other siblings.
yeah. So it's one of your friends from baseball. Yep.
So like Jabari and Jerry, which is Jabari's dad, should go out. Maybe not even that far.
Yeah.
Should like go out for the week, or maybe even just like a couple days. Go do something just them, and.
Would you tell your friend hey, this is really worth it. This is something that.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Anything that you and I don't know if there's even an answer to this. Is there anything that you found out about me? Anything you noticed about me other than my weak stomach, apparently?
Oh, your meetings are really boring.
Oh.
To have to listen to.
Oh, I had to do a Zoom call while I was out there, right?
Like the head of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which was 3 hours.
A quick meeting, just a quick meeting.
It was 3 hours.
Was that long?
It was that long.
Oh no.
It's 3 hours.
No,
it was terrible.
I don't think it was 3 hours, but I think it felt like
3 hours.
It felt like 3 hours too.
A stopwatch came out and he was looking.
Yeah. But no, the trip overall was good. It was something that we will remember. Hopefully, as we're this is Josiah, so son number 2. He'll get his trip next spring, summer.
Do you know where you're going?
So we have Josiah wants to do something. So something involving hiking or like the outdoors
stuff.
Colorado.
Outdoors good.
He wants to do Colorado. I'm okay as long, and my brother and my sister-in-law live out in Colorado. That's the thing for me, is like being prepared myself for that trip. We did this down to Arizona because I had been down there.
You can go Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and do rooftops and like all the other hiking that it's like a little more than just these half-mile waterfalls.
Yeah.
That Matthew and Molly barely finished.
So if you guys, our listeners, have done this with your kids, we would love to hear, or you plan on doing this with your kids, we would love to hear that. Give us a call. Our voicemail is 574-213-8702, or you can send feedback at dudesanddadspodcast.com.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. I would love some ideas. And I think Josiah and I are having the conversation now about what we're gonna do. But I would love ideas about anything that does have to do with like some wilderness or outdoor kind of stuff. That seems to be what he has kind of discussed with me and talked about. So we'll see. We'll take all the ideas that we can get. So,
anything else you want to tell us about your trip?
No, I don't think so.
I'm glad we've covered it. We've covered it thoroughly.
All right. So since you're in studio, I want you to do the pop quiz thing right now.
Now it's time for the Dudes and Dads pop quiz.
All right, there we go. I was gonna push the button, but I'm like, you're sitting right here, so I might as well let you do it.
Perfect.
All right. So you have $100,000. You have to donate or create a charity. What do you do? Donate or create a charity, or where do you donate it to?
Well, creating a charity costs a lot of money in itself.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I feel like it'd be more money. You can give more money than creating a charity, because if you create the charity, you have to keep funding that.
Sure.
Where you can just give to a charity, and keep it in.
What kind of charity do you think you'd give to?
I don't know.
Would you give to a charity? I don't know. Maybe that your dad is responsible for.
Probably.
Okay, good answer. Thank you.
He's your next big donor, Joel.
That's what we're hoping for. Aaron, let's. We're just gonna ask. We'll ask the zombie question because I was like, of your siblings, of the four of you, who makes it the longest in the zombie apocalypse? Josiah makes it the longest.
Josiah makes the longest.
Dude, I think so. I think he would totally do that.
100%.
Yeah, he's scrappy and he's
Josiah and Micah.
And he's good at being outdoors. Yeah, probably.
Resourcefulness. That's right.
Although Micah said Hattie when Micah was on, so.
That's interesting. That's I think the zombie question does really get at the heart of a lot of things.
If you put Molly and Hattie together, I think they make it longer.
I don't know about that. I think that they would just.
They'd be doing their own thing and be like, oh no, a zombie's here. Gosh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which ones would you keep?
Okay. So I keep MLB.com.
Okay.
I watch baseball.
Yep.
I'd keep Google Docs.
Okay.
Because Google Docs is like it's so much easier to do like schoolwork, like where you can just like if you're writing an essay, you don't have to write it or type it, you just voice do it. You can do it on a computer, but it's not as good.
Gotcha.
And then I'd keep a game, but what one?
Are you keeping does like the phone app, does the phone count?
You can't delete the phone app, so I don't think that counts.
Okay.
You can delete the App Store.
Yeah, but you can't delete the phone app.
It's going to remain a phone.
So
you're going to have phone. You're going to have phone and
text messages,
texting still. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the App Store.
Okay.
Because if it deletes everything,
you just got to keep your options open.
Yeah.
I get it.
You could do free trials and then secondly not downloading anything.
Wow. Way to work the angles. Nice job. Glad I'm raising you right. Aaron, if you had one meal that you had to eat for the rest of your life, what would that meal be?
Cheese curds. Not cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
I don't know.
What would you say is like your favorite? Is your favorite? What do you eat a lot?
Chicken Alfredo. I like Mom's chicken Alfredo.
Mom's chicken Alfredo is pretty
good
delish.
Deal.
That's good.
Or spaghetti. I'm not sure. Tacos.
Okay.
One of those 3.
All right, dude, you have successfully passed the Dudes and Dads pop quiz.
Let's go.
Way to go. Okay. Hey, everybody. First of all, Aaron, thanks, buddy, for coming back on. Well done. Well done. Everyone, we appreciate you hanging in there with us and listening to this episode. As always, you can head over to dudesanddadspodcast.com for all the show notes, all the goodies. And get back with us on this episode. We want to hear more ideas of where we can
574-213-8702 or feedback at dudesanddadspodcast.com.
Lovely. Guys, every single time you stop by and listen and you shout out to us and share this with everybody else, we appreciate it so much. So thanks for being there. And until next time, we wish you grace
and peace.
Be sure to share the podcast on your favorite social media channels.